Content rarity and ship rotation. We'd like to provide you with a preview of some new features. It's worth highlighting that this is a sneak peek with some aspects still in development. This also applies to any images shown. Okay. Content rarity. The interface does not make a clear level of rarity. Okay, so like... Okay, so... Because right now in game, we just have like premium special, right? You get like the stars and the gold icons next to your name. So they're probably going to let you sort. That would be nice. That would be nice if you could like sort your ships by like how rare they are in your port. But I guess for most people that probably won't matter. Okay. Despite no current in-game interface to indicate right. Okay, whatever. Content rarity system will apply to ships, camo, and destruction effects. Item rarity is often associated with increased power performance. We want to emphasize that our rarity system is not a reflection of a ship's strength. Although it is, right? Because, like, what are the most rare tier 10s? Like, Thunderer, Smallland, Summers. Like, some of the best ships in the game. What's up, look? What's up, Lacriminal? How you doing? Okay. The intent behind this system is providing players with the means to have a better overall understanding of the intended amount of effort needed to acquire content, and if it will be widely accessible or highly exclusive. Okay. Common. Tech tree ships. Uncommon. Super ships. Previously released regularly available premium ships in the doubloon shop, right? Including premium... Okay. So, free ships are common. Instant cash available ships are uncommon. Requires moderate effort. Super ships, previously released, regularly available premium ships like Atago or Cossack. Okay. So we're putting super ships and ships you can just buy in the doubloon shop for uncommon. Requires dedicated or focused effort via challenging events or long-term commitment. Rare. Ships in Steel and Research Bureau categories. See, I would not necessarily agree with this. Yo, Papa Pucks, thank you for the 6-month subscription. Another amazing devblog for this dog shit game to listen to for the drive home. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay. I would not necessarily agree that there's anything rare about certainly steel boats. Now, back in the day, I would agree with that. But today, the way that you can buy steel these days via dockyard, right? If you just whale every dockyard and whale every battle pass, that alone is like enough steel for like 2 ships a year. 1.5 ships a year, something like that. Interesting. And then event-based ships like Tennessee. Tennessee would be an actually rare ship because you can't get it anymore, right? Dockyard midpoint ships as well as collaboration. Okay, whatever. Epic requires significant time, effort, or high investment. Typically time limited and difficult to reobtain. Final reward dockyard ships like Wisconsin and golden ships like PVO. Okay, that makes sense. Legendary. Ultra exclusive content granted for ordinary effort. Okay. So, what would because they don't even... I'm surprised that it doesn't come up, but like, what would a Smallland or a Thunderer fall under? I would assume a Thunderer and a Smallland would be epic, right? Typically time high investment. The only way to get those ships is Santa crates. Whale sent. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you can just buy steel, right? You could definitely just buy steel. And steel is pretty easy to get. Steel and Research Bureau ships are actually pretty easy to get. Maybe not if you're a brand new player, but like, I mean, that's fine, whatever. But I'm surprised there's no example for like where the unobtainium ships, right? Like, would a Musashi, a Thunderer, a Smaller be legendary, or would I would assume they would be epic? Uncommon, its base rarity is taken into account. Well, no, because in order for a ship to be uncommon, it has to be regularly available. Did you miss? There's no real benefit pucks at all. I think this is a new player friendly thing to let them know how. So I think the main point of this, I mean, maybe someone has another theory. I think the main value, quote unquote, value of this is, let's say you're a newer player, okay, and you don't have 1,000 ships, and you open a tier 5 ship container and you get Giuseppe Verdi. How happy should you be that you got Giuseppe Verdi, right? Well, if you know about, the lore of the ships in the game, then you would be very happy. But let's say you're a brand new player and you get a ship, right? So I think that's what's valuable is if you open a crate and you're a new player. I think this is a new player friendly idea, right? They did this so they could jack up the price on ships? Surely not. Surely not. Yeah, I mean Julio Cesar, yeah. Not Giuseppe Verdi. Okay. The rarity grades will apply to the following content. Okay. So, rare item. So I think that's the idea. Okay, so here you go. The rare items are highlight. See, okay. So under this example, Smolensk would be rare. You see, we see this, right? It has the same blue highlight as Stalingrad, but then a boat like Sibir has the green highlight, right? So I think quite clearly they would consider a Smolensk a rare ship. Requires dedicated or focused effort via challenging events or long-term commitment. Ships in Steel and Research Bureau categories, event-based ships like Tennessee, dockyard midpoints, as well as collab. See, like, that doesn't make any sense. But they clearly consider Smolensk rare. See? It has the rare in their very example, they have Smolensk at rare, which makes no logical sense because you can't get the boat. They actually didn't say coal anywhere. I also noticed that too, Gigi. They never mentioned coal. Okay? So Kitakami is legendary, which that makes perfect sense. So what is epic? Okay. Uncommon. Atago's uncommon. Okay, so there you go. Coal boats are uncommon. See here? We've got Yoshino. That's a tier 10 coal boat. We've got Hayate. That's a tier 10 coal boat. They are uncommon. So we are considering coal boat requires moderate effort, typically available, and steady in-game progress. That makes sense, right? That makes logical sense that tier 10 coal boats would be uncommon. Steady in-game progress. That's basically the definition of coal, right? So basically, the way I would reword this would be like, for most cases, common are tech tree, uncommon is coal and doubloon shop boats, rare is Steel and Research Bureau ships, epic is probably like a Thunderer would be considered epic, because I would put Thunderer in the category of PVO Golden, right? And then legendary are like the Giga Whale events, the super ultra duper limited events, right? So it's like Tech Tree, Cola and Doubloon Shop, Steel and Research Points, Christmas Crate level ships, Christmas Crates and Dockyards, right? And then Giga Whale and hyper limited events, maybe. Something like that. Okay. Again, I feel like there's two reasons why they would do this. One, I do think this is good if you're a newer player and you don't know how rare the drop you got out of your crate is. I mean, I would assume no, because Musashi can still be gotten for Christmas crates, right? Like, you can't even get these ships out of a Christmas crate. Like, there is literally no possible way of getting the legend. So I think that's the difference, right? You literally cannot ever get the legendary boats. And when you could get them, it required like insane limitation or insane whaling, right? But so I mean, excuse me, probably good if you're a new player, right? Probably good if you're a new player. You know how good the boat you got was. Interesting. Why would we received a Wisconsin? How do you receive a Wisconsin, bro? Okay. I don't really give a shit about the camos. As one of the rare, so why are they doing it? One of the core objectives is improved clarity and consistency, right? Standardized pricing model for direct sales based on the rarity grade. Okay. So they want to set a rarity grade guideline for every boat, and that will then allow them to more effectively and simply sell them later. Removing pricing differences between different ship types. I mean, I do think that that's probably a good thing. I mean, obviously that means that the lower priced ship classes will go up, but whatever. We would also like to note that while dockyard ships will have a higher rarity content, the overall effort and cost will remain the same. So the dockyard ships shouldn't even be in that category. I don't know, whatever, dude. How it works. Pricing of effective content will be standardized based on rarity grade. All right, so we're going to standardize all of the prices. Okay. But we're still going to give it a range. Current range. Oh, prior to... Yeah. Okay, I mean, that's weird. So if you're buying doubloon ships... Okay. They're actually lowering the price of tier 10s. For real wise Wisconsin, that picture, gotta get my hope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's such a bizarre thing to show unless you're somehow going to be able to get some of those boats. Okay, so currently, so you're actually going to pay substantially less for like early access tier 10s. That's very interesting, right? Because remember, if a boat is in like early access, it would be considered it would be considered common, right? Or uncommon would be it's available directly for doubloons. So they're actually substantially lowering the price of tier 10s. They're effectively lowering the price of a lot of tier 9s. Rare 21,500. So when did they ever sell rare boats? Ships and Steel and Research Bureau category. Oh, so this would be like for future events. Okay. All right. So for future events, directly purchasing the boat will go down. Interesting. So tier 9 ships will go down. Tier 8 ships, so like, okay. That's right, because some are like dirt cheap, some cost a lot more. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is a surprisingly good thing overall. Well, okay, let's look at the armory real quick. All right, let's go to the armory and let's look at what the ships currently go for. Like, are we really going to end up with a discount or not? Okay, so yeah, tier 9s go for 19,300. So these would go for 18,000. So, fellas, you know what that means? That means that Sun Yat-sen will go down to 18,000 dubs. And that means with the ship coupon, you can get Sun Yat-sen for roughly 14,000, 13,500. Sun Yat-sen for 13,500 doubloons. Not bad. Moderately reasonable price. Okay, wait, hang on. I wanted to look at some more. 13.5? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so, I mean, those are going to go down. And so then, like, a ship like Roma will go down a lot, right? Tier 8. It's going to be standardized at 11,000. So, so the BBs will be way more affordable. Because currently, the BBs are all priced at the higher level. The cruisers are in the middle and the DDs are lower, right? I think that's how they, yeah, so like the cruisers are 11,000. Let me look at hang on, let me sort by tier here. Yeah, see, like, battleships and aircraft carriers are at the high end, right? All of the most expensive tier 8s are BBs and CVs, right? BBs and CVs. And then the cruisers will be very, very much unchanged overall, right? These are all priced at like about 11K. And then the Ds are the cheapest, right? Yeah, Cossack for 10K dubs. I always forget how cheap that boat is. So, I mean, honestly, I think there's not much to complain about so far. I mean, overall, it looks like most things will be less money. I mean, this is like just a straight up massive discount on the current price of all of those ships, right? Because this basically what they're saying is early access boats are going to go down an entire 8,650 dubs, right? So I mean, as far as the player is concerned, this is probably overall just good. No, Cossack would become more money, Snow. Because Cossack is a tier. Excuse me, Cossack is a tier 8. So what they're saying is all tier 8s will now cost 11K. So basically, the current pricing goes tier 8 battleships and aircraft carriers are between like 12.5 and 14. Those will get a big discount. Cruisers are all priced right around 11K. So they'll be effectively unchanged. And then the DDs are usually priced between 83 and 99. So the DDs will go up slightly in price. But the majority of ships will go down or stay the same. So, I mean, all right, coal price changes. So we're going to, interesting. So, what I find interesting about this, though, is that isn't this implying that rare and epic ships will become available for coal? Huh. Because, like, current price range, right? Like, this is Nustrashimi, right? I think Nustrashimi and Black are the 300K coal boats. But, like, what would they be considered? See, this is the part that concerns me. The fact that they even list rare and epic for coal boats is very perplexing to me. Because according to their own metric, anything that is a coal boat is by definition uncommon. You think all coal boats would be considered uncommon? Well, that's why I'm confused by this, Snow. Because yes, I would agree. Logically speaking, every single coal boat is, on a matter of definition, an uncommon ship. It is available through recurring events and steady in-game progress. Like, coal boats, by definition, are uncommon. So, is this maybe just for like a trade-in event? I'm wondering if this is just for a trade-in event. Like maybe you're so retarded, you would trade your Wisconsin for a Forrest Sherman. Or they're going to bring back a lot of boats for coal, which I would be totally for. So I think the only two logical explanations for this are that they just. I think the only real explanation. There's two explanations to me. One, this is for a trade in event. Or two, they actually are going to bring rare and epic level ships in for coal. There's no other explanation for why you would include rare and epic, right? Because if it's a coal boat, it is by definition uncommon. The only way to sell a rare or an epic boat for coal would be to bring back a ship you cannot get via coal or steel, right? So this has to be for trade-in purposes, or it has to be that they're going to bring back old ships. I would love if they brought back old ships. I mean, I think it's incredibly stupid that some ships, like, you just literally have to gamble for. Steel price changes. So we're making all steel boats 31K. So again, the battleships and the aircraft carriers will go down in price. The destroyers will go up a lot, because if I'm not mistaken, all of the DDs are 27K. Right? If I'm not mistaken, they typically price destroyers at 27 to 28. They typically price cruisers at 28 to 30, and BBs are 31 to 32, right? I think I have that right. Okay, 33, 32. I mean, Barbiano and Svea and Commissar kind of break the mold. But, like, yeah, Plymouth is 27, right? Austin was 29. Svea is 30. Stalin was 28. Yeah, the DDs are 27K. So we're just BB players are just coming out massive, right? If you're a battleship main, you are loving these price changes, are you not? Because the biggest winner for the discounting is always battleships. Like, especially this, bro. These changes, like, heavy discount all the prices of battleships. Heavy discount on BB pricing, right? And if you play nothing but destroyers, you probably hate this so far. Research Bureau, okay, so that's really good, though. That is really good. That we're making all of the tier 9. Dude, that's actually mega. That's actually really fucking good. We're making all tier 9s cheaper? Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, Illinois is 10K cheaper. Siegfried is one of the worst boats in the game. 3K cheaper, 3K cheaper, 3K cheaper. Hell yeah, bro. Who in my chat was talking about how they're about to buy Illinois? I hope they didn't fucking pull the trigger yet, buddy. Fucking wait 3 weeks, and that shit is discounted like crazy. So that's an objective good thing. And this is kind of like whatever. I mean, I'm personally of the opinion, while sure some ships being more expensive sucks for people, it doesn't make logical sense. Like, Vamp 2 is probably one of the 2 best Research Bureau boats in the game. Certainly a top 3. Why is it so much cheaper than Ohio? Right? Like, why is this ship so much cheaper than, like, Sicilia? I mean, I think that's undeniably dumb, right? So far, I would say they're actually overall lowering the price of basically everything except for Tier 10 Research Bureau ships. Tier 10 Research Bureau cruisers and DDs got price inflated. But it does make logical sense. It's hard to complain about that, because to me that just makes sense. You almost did. You waited for Irresistible? Okay. The entire list of ships for coal, doubloon, steel, and research points. Oh, so they're going to list if they're... okay. So what do we consider epic? So we're considering Nustrashimi and Black as epic, but they're still getting a price discount. Okay. We're keeping Flint as epic. Okay. But this is a discount, is it not? Let me see. Where's the coal prices for tier 9? Yeah, because that's what I was going to say is I didn't remember any tier 9 coal boats being available for less than 200k. So this is very, very new player friendly. I mean, some of the tier 10s coal boats will go up in price, right? I mean, they'll almost all go up in price. But the tier 9s are getting a hefty discount. Oh my, yeah, and so are the tier, okay, tier 7, I see. So we're keeping Flint as epic at that. But I mean, still, this is a really big win for people who like tier 9 coal boats. Because, like, all of these boats got at, right? Like, these are all discounted, like, 45k coal. All of these tier 9s currently are in the armory for what, 225? Are they all in the armory for 225? I think that they are. Yeah, 228. So, like, that's obviously really good. So we're only really keeping Flint and Black and Nustra. Flint is 180 at the moment. Is it really? That's insane. Oh, that's tier 6. What am I? I'm clicking on nothing. Wow, so even Flint is getting a hefty discount. And then Black and Nustra are currently, what, 296? So the most expensive coal boats are getting a slight discount. Everything is in tier 9 and below is getting heavily Wow. Interesting. Now, all right, guys. So far, I'm alarmed. The reason why I am alarmed is this is way too good. The other shoe has to drop. There is no universe Wargaming is lowering the price of collecting all the coal boats by millions of coal to not. So here's my prediction, okay? My prediction is the reason why they are lowering the price almost universally across the board is they're going to bring back ships for coal, and then the coal prices of those ships will be so high that, like, in order to compensate, they adjust everything else. Yo, Rock says, thank you for the 6-month subscription. You're grinding all Blucker stages tonight? God bless. So I would say that's my prediction, is that really the only reason they're doing this is they want to reintroduce ships for coal that haven't been available for a long time. Those ships will be regarded as rare, as epic, and then the price of those ships will be heavily inflated for coal. That's the only logic to this, because there's no way Wargaming devs just woke up and were like, let's give the player base free money. Because that's effectively what this is like everything that you want to buy, especially as a newer player, is now heavily discounted. Very interesting, though, to be sure. So far, like, alarmingly good news. They're about to bring new expensive coal content. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm assuming. That would be my assumption. Ships for doubloons. Okay, hell yeah, dude. Sun yet send 18,000 dubs. I'm telling you right now, fellas, when this goes live, if you're the kind of person that's willing to... If you're the kind of guy who spends like a couple $100 on this game, when this changes goes live and your doubloon coupon resets, getting Sun Yat Sen for what is effectively the equivalent of 50 US dollars. Again, if you're the kind of person who spends a couple $100 on what Warships a year, that's the pick. That's the pick right there, buddy. So all of these are considered uncommon. Repulse is rare. That's fair, I suppose. Okay, somewhat fair. I mean, these are all low tier. So yeah. So basically every boat that's a battleship in this list will now be heavily discounted. The cruisers will be roughly unchanged. Some of them will be discounted. And then the DDs will mostly cost slightly more. Very interesting, though. I mean, so far this is all universally good news. Now, like I said, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop that is like insane gotcha events for colon doubloons to cash in on this. But in isolation, right, until the other shoe drops, in isolation, this is all like astonishingly good for the player base. Right? Yeah, this is very interesting, though. And I think this just makes sense. I think I would like it more if this was at 30,000 steel instead of 31. Because the DDs going up in price by 4,000 does feel a little bit steep. And there's almost no ships worth getting over 31k. Right? Like, I mean, nothing is over 31, really. Like, 1,000 over, 2,000 over, right? These are all 31. So basically, steel ships as a ship are now more expensive. The most any ship should cost is $25 maximum. I mean, my opinion, Daddy-O, is that would actually earn them more money. If I could get 2 ships for $50, I would be more likely to spend $50 than to spend 50 on one ship, right? Like, if every ship in the Tier 9 armory was 25,000 doubloons, don't you think people who would be like $50 for a ship is insane would now spend 50 on 2? Because I know I would. So I have to buy Z42. No, you have to buy it now, Jay Snow. Or are you saying you don't have a choice? Like, you won't be able to buy it? Because what you want to do is you want to buy the DDs now. Like, if you're on the fence and you're like, I'm going to get Z42 or I'm going to get Bourgogne, get the fucking Z now. Yeah, you have to buy it now. Yeah. I mean, because you'll save 4,000. I mean, that is not a trivial amount, bro. 4,000 steel is like 1/6 of a steel boat with coupon. Right? I mean, that is like a whole season of ranked steel. That is not trivial. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Like, you definitely, if you're on the fence between 2 steel ships or research bureau ships, get the fucking DD now, right? Same thing with, like, if you're like, I'm either going to get Slava or I'm going to get Vamp 2, get the fucking Vamp 2, because the Vamp 2 is going up in price by half of a reset almost, right? So yeah, buy the DDs now. Buy the destroyers now. And then if you're getting a Tier 9 Research Bureau ship, wait. Container barge improvements, okay. We've updated the container opening experience. That's good because that experience is horrible. Opening animation can now choose to disable. Oh, okay, thank God. There's a mod for this, by the way. There is a mod for this on Aslan's, and I think it's called like crane remover or something. You can get rid of this, but you have to use mods for it. Integrated container. Containers are now displayed in a scrollable list directly on the main screen. That's very good. Flexible opening options. Players will have additional choices in the amount of containers they may open at once. Okay, good. Detailed reward information now allows players to view drop chances and reward breakdowns. Good. Guaranteed reward counter. That's really good. That's really good too. Improve reward presentation. No, visually prioritize. I mean, this is all good. Why is it all good so far? Am I about to get a fucking stake through the heart here? Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? Because what you have to do, right now, what you have to do is you have to go to like the purchasing page, I think, for containers. Let's see if there's an event going on that we can see. I think that there is, right? The Dunkirk event. Yeah. So normally you have to go to this page, right? And on this page, you can see your guaranteed drop counter. But if you were like actually opening these containers in real time, you can't see that. So that's also, again, objectively good. I mean, this is not different though, right? Okay. Description of the images. We don't really care about that. I mean, this is all good. I mean, so far we're basically discounting coal and doubloon ships. We're slightly inflating the cost of steel boats, but in a way that does make sense. And then we're making the research bureau a little more. I mean, okay. So far, every change I would put as either dead neutral or positive. Ship rotate. Okay, here we go. Over the years, a vast number of premium ships have been released, making it difficult for them to navigate. This system will keep the most popular ships available for sale while rotating other ships, both new and old. So there you go. I was right. That's why they're giving you the pricing for all those boats. The system will provide access to a wider range of content, including previously released ships such as Brisbane. But Brisbane is currently available. Oh, so they're rotating them in for doubloons. Okay. So basically what they're doing is they're going to permanently have tier 10 ships available for dubs, but they will be discounted heavily. Okay. Because like Brisbane is an uncommon ship. So it'll come back for 26,000 doubloons before they sold it for 34,650, right? I mean, again, okay, you could make an argument that selling tier 10s for money sucks, because then there's no tier where you can hide from the gigabads in. But selling ships just for money, I have no problem with it, really. I don't have really a problem with it. Now, what I do maybe have a problem in is how bad will the FOMO be? They're adding in FOMO to the armoury, yeah. So, like, will it be for one update you can get rare ships for dubs and then they're gone for a year? Okay. With this, the intention, regular interval in which groups. I mean, this is still all good, though. 2 new ship. Here we go. All right, so Irresistible, 62,000. I did look at this earlier. Someone posted it in sent it to me on Discord. Okay, so Irresistible for research, Darista for steel. San Diego and Leon will be removed from the armory in update 14.6. San Diego will return as the final reward as part of a free event collection. Well, yeah, because you can get Leone from the Destroyer collection. Okay. It's still all good, though. I mean, you can, complain on principle about monetizing tier 10. But, like, tier 9 was monetized for, 6 years? I mean, does it really fucking matter? Anything that's not gambling, at this point, I just, basically am okay with it. Give us $120 for a tier 10 and you just get it. Although it's heavily discounted, though. They did substantially lower the price of those tier 10s. Ships will be separated into 1 of 4 initial planned groups for rotation. Are designed to be as distributed as evenly as possible. Each group of ships will be 6 updates at a time. So you'll have 6 months before you get FOMO. That's not bad. If it was one update, if it was 1 month, I think this would be like highly predatory. But honestly, for 6 months at a time, that means, yeah, I mean, that's fine. The deployment of groups will be staggered, so at any given point, there will be 2 groups of ships available. Okay, so like one group will go live on January 1st, one group will go live on April 1st, and then they'll stagger out every 3 months. Makes sense. Okay. Ships intended to rotate out will be tagged. Okay. I mean, so far I still have no problems with anything. When a new uncommon ship is introduced, it will be assigned to a rotation group and become available again 6 to 9 updates. So every time a ship comes out, 6 to 9 updates later, it's back. Each ship will be available as part of its group offered through direct sales for doubloons. Okay. Rare ships will continue to debut through events or free special activities. Ships released within a rolling 12 update block will later become available for purchase during a summer festival. Okay. The majority of rare ships released throughout the year will be present in Christmas Santa containers. Each ship in the block will follow a minimum wait time of 4 updates and a maximum of 15 updates. Okay. So this is actually anti-FOMO in a way, because you don't have to wonder when it will come back. Sure, I mean, that was all pretty self-explanatory. List of ships that will temporarily leave armoury in 14.6. Is anything actually good? Like, truly worth getting? Honestly, not really. None of these are like must-get boats. Okay. Oh, there's more. Bayard is one of the best tier 8 premiums in the game. Terrible is one of the best. Oh, boys, you gotta go get your Collingwood. You gotta go get your Collingwood. Oh, okay, trade-in event. You can receive. All right, are there anything good you can receive? Atlanta's very good. People like Kid, but it's fine. And Napoli. Agincourt, yeah, well then you have to play tier 5 though. I mean, more power to you, I fucking guess. Okay, so what we want to look for here is high tier coal boats you can trade, because this is the mega strategy. Okay, so you can trade in like any boat, tier 10 coal boat. So, but remember though that this is going to go live after the update, because the cheese right now, like the last trade-in event, was wicked, because Sherman is underpriced for some reason. Right? For some reason, the Sherman is underpriced. It's the cheapest tier 10 coal ship. So like last event, what I did is I traded my Sherman for a tier 9 doubloon ship, almost exactly 1-for-1, and then just bought the Sherman back for coal. You can't trade in your Halford? Can you really not? That's crazy. That is certifiably tough, bro. That is certifiably tough. But so, okay, so what you want to do is you want to look at ships that you can receive that are doubloon only. Are any of these ships doubloon only? Right? Kidd, Brandenburg, right? The tier 8s are doubloon only boats. So basically, the only time the trade-in is really a good deal is when you take a coal boat and trade it for a doubloon only ship. That's when it's really good. Yeah, Carl Johan is a doubloon only. No, actually, didn't that just come out for Cole? I thought the Carl Johan just came out for Cole. No, I'm wrong. I'm tripping. I mean, the Carl Johan is like insanely dog shit. One of the worst ships in the game. But yeah, I mean, that's is Dalian Cole. No. Okay, so Dalian is actually quite good. Dalian is a good ship. Kid is a good ship. Atlanta's a good ship. So basically the idea here is you could like take your Sherman, trade it for like an Atlanta, and then buy the Sherman back, right? Kind of the same as last time. Okay. I mean, this is just an alarmingly pro player dev blog. This is a very pro player wallet dev blog. And I can only presume cynically that what will happen is now if ships come back for Cole, then that's just a straight up win, right? Even at an obscene amount of Cole, right? Bring Smolensk, bring Thunderer, bring Small. Well, then again, though, I almost don't want people to have those boats, but you know what I mean? I mean, that's definitely a pro player move. This is all like very pro player, right? This is all very pro player. This is great. This is whatever. You know, this is mostly whatever. Really just sucks if you want the steel destroyers because they're going up quite a lot in price. Like all of the repricing is great for the most part. And then the trade-in is obviously just a net win for everybody. So just like an entire dev blog of pro-consumerism, pro-consumer perspective, you'd happily, yeah, that's what I'm getting at, Ludag, is like bring back all the dockyard boats for steel, for 400k steel, right? I mean, hell yeah. Just a very like surprisingly like pretty much this entire dev blog is overall just like a win for the consumer, which is very interesting. 400k coal, not steel. This is just a very like surprising win for the consumer of this game. So, I mean, maybe it will be horrifically predatorily monetized. I can't speak. But I mean, overall, like on surface level, it's really, really good. You know, if we shit on Wargaming when they suck, then we have to praise them when they're good, right? So, I mean, this is all good. This is all on surface level. A pro player win. So, imagine if Wargaming realizes being... I mean, that's always been my point, dude. I've always said this about the price of doubloon boats. Like, I could easily become a turbo whale if it was worth it to be a turbo whale. Like, I have a lot of disposable income. I don't have any expensive hobbies. I could easily be the kind of person who spends like... Okay, maybe not a turbo whale, because the turbo whales spend like thousands a month. But I could easily be the kind of guy who spends like $3,000 a year on World of Warships, right? I'm their target demographic. A guy with a lot of disposable income who just plays video games as his main hobby. But like, I feel like I don't get anything valuable for my money 99% of the time. So it's like... That's always my point with the pricing of like the tier 9 and 10 boats is just like, dude, if early access tier 10s were like 12,000 doubloons, like I would probably get them every now and then, you know? Like the good ones, if Utrecht was 12,000 doubloons in early access instead of 35,000, I might pay $50 for that. So, okay. I mean, just a very pro player based dev blog. Surprisingly so. I guess we'll see if it the other shoe drops. But even the planned decisions about their future monetization with the rotation of stuff, like even that is totally fine to me. No issues there really at all. So very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Maybe we'll. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, right, Dario, that it's all a setup for being bad. Although, my thing is it's all new player friendly. Like, all of those changes are very pro. I just started playing the game a year ago, and I'm thinking about getting. I'm just now at the point of maybe willing to drop like $100 on ships, maybe willing to buy my first two or three coal boats. That whole dev blog is very like advantageous for those kind of people. Like no, like universally, it's a bonus for them, right?